Yo guys, how's it going? And welcome back to our Bears season review. The Bears lost on Sunday in the wild card round to the New Orleans Saints, meaning the season is officially over. I'm joined by Zach, like always. Zach, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I felt like we needed a couple days just to kind of soak it all in and reflect. But Zach, we finished 8-8 in the regular season, then of course lose the first round of the playoffs. Second time we've been in the playoffs in the last 3 years, but there's just so many issues with this team and this organization.
There's times it's literally like just how a Bear fan is. There's highs and then there's lows in the season. I mean, our offense never really got like going until really I think like week 10-ish.
Yeah.
Like it's just you can't really have that and stuff, and it's just sad. I mean, we can never have an offense and a defense at once. It's one or the other.
Yeah, it was like a great offense, terrible defense. Great defense, terrible offense. Like you said, I'm not sure if I've really ever experienced a season of highs and lows like this year. You know, we started off so well, then we had that huge losing streak, then we start winning again, and then we kind of come back to reality in the playoffs. Zach, I feel like for me personally, I think Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace will be back. I think if we had lost out at the end of the year, they could have been gone. I just don't see them leaving. I see Trubisky. I'm still kind of up in the air. I assume he's going to be gone. I worry about Allen Robinson. We talked about a potential franchise tag if they can't get a deal done. There's a lot of free agents out there. You know, we have a few pieces on defense that I'd like to retain. But of course, you know, Allen Robinson is the major one.
Hopefully, optimistic wise, I wouldn't want Nagy back. But
yeah.
I can see him coming back. I can see Pace coming back. Obviously, you guys know I'm a big Mitchell fan.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest Mitchell Trubisky fans. I don't see him coming back.
Yeah.
I honestly don't really kind of want him back.
I agree.
I agree. I want A-Rod back. I want Cordell back. I want Brett Urban back. And it's just like those are like the main ones that I want back.
Yeah.
I mean, we still need that depth on that defense. Brett Urban played really well for us as like a backup, third string, whatever you want to really call him, stepping up at times to start. It's just the main thing is just keeping those weapons and actually getting an offense going, because our defense is there. Pagano needs to leave.
Pagano has to go.
We need to run a 4-3. We can't run a 3-4 defense. I don't even remember the last time the Bears ran a 3-4 defense. So it's just disappointing to see that as a Bear fan, you're always expected to have highs and lows and stuff. And I mean, last year there was games. I mean, the Philly game you went to and stuff. It's just absolutely
brutal.
Terrible. But I mean, this one was probably the most up and down season I've ever experienced in 21 years of my life.
So I'd like to kind of look at the offense, and then we'll go look at the defense. You know, starting at the offensive line, I felt like, you know, if you asked me this week 10, our biggest need would have been the offensive line. But we really kind of put some pieces together. Players got injured, and other players had to step up. So I feel like offensively, on the offensive line, I'd like to add some depth. I think you said Afidi was a free agent, correct?
Yeah, Afidi's a free agent. So I mean, he's kind of like a key part that I mean, I loved Afidi.
Afidi was really good.
Sam Mustafa, he's not a free agent.
No, but
he needs to either be at the center still.
He needs to start at center.
He needs a full-on role. I mean, I saw Sam say in an interview, he goes, I think I proved myself to the
100%.
league and stuff. I stepped up really well. Hopefully I could like keep this production up and stuff. So he's a key factor that like we need. Same with Afidi, no more Rashad Coward.
You get James Daniels back, which would be nice. You know, Alec Bars. There's a lot of guys. Obviously, Charles Leno. I'm not really sure, you know, what exactly is going to happen on the offensive line, but I feel like we're kind of in an okay position there. Yeah. Tight end wise, I know there's rumors of Jimmy Graham potentially retiring. You know, Komet's going to only get better. I'm not really sure what we're going to do there. Hopefully we don't use, you know, too high of a draft pick on a tight end. Maybe bring in a veteran tight end or something like that. I loved what David Montgomery did for us this year, especially the second half. I felt like really showing his potential. I've been on the David Montgomery hype train since year one, and he hadn't really shown me, like he'd show me bursts, and he runs so hard, and I love the player. But this past year, he really kind of took it to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, David Montgomery's always been good. I've watched him in college a lot. Played against him all his years in college against being an Iowa fan. And I didn't really see the David Montgomery I saw in college
Yeah.
the first couple of years. This is the David Montgomery you saw at Iowa State.
Yeah.
This is the David Montgomery that the Bears wanted to draft. He really stepped it up after Tariq went down.
Yeah, I guess that's another name we forget to talk about. We're missing Tariq Cohen, and then of course a quarterback. We switched the quarterbacks throughout the year. It's just I always wonder like what could have been if we had, like if Deshaun Watson was leading us at quarterback on Sunday. I really do believe we win. We'll see what happens. Zach and I still unfortunately feel like Nick Foles will probably be the starting quarterback come week 1, but I guess that will be seen. Wide receiver, not much. I think this last week showed us how little depth we really had at wide receiver, and the fact that like our drafting and just development of wide receivers have just been so poor when you really, really look at it. Allen Robinson, I can't even imagine without A-Rob.
I mean, A-Rob had 1,200 yards receiving. It's just without Allen Robinson, then we push up Darnell Mooney at number
Mooney's
1.
been a stud. I know I just said the development. I'm talking about the players over the last 3 years. Mooney has been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you had Javon Wims, you have Anthony Miller,
Riley Ridley.
I mean,
come on.
It's a disappointment. So Allen Robinson needs to stay. I mean, at least franchise tag him and then get that extension done in the season. Talk to him, get it fully done. Be like, hey, this team is your team. Like, there's not a lot of teams that you could be like, hey, this is the team. And I know that Allen Robinson can be the guy to be like, hey, this offense is you're the leader of this offense.
Yeah.
Usually it's the quarterback. But I mean, we saw a couple of those. I mean, Calvin Johnson was kind of like that and stuff. So maybe Allen Robinson can be like that for us.
Defensively, and I am the biggest Eddie Jackson fan in the world. I thought Eddie Jackson had a terrible season, coming off that huge contract. It's not even the takeaways. It's just the missed tackles that kills me. And then, Gibson's a free agent. I would like to see Gibson back. I thought he played well, unless we can find another replacement. I don't think we're going to really draft safety. Maybe we could draft a safety later on. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But there's also a lot of really good, safety options in free agency. Linebackers, what do you really say? We lost Roquan Smith, who had an incredible season, which is, going to be, I feel like he's just only going to get better.
Yeah.
Danny started off slow. He played all right. He didn't play terrible.
He was second on the team in tackles, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they were both 1-2. We need to get Mario Edwards back, who's a free agent. We need to get Brett Urban back.
No, Urban was really, really good for us. Okay, another name is Roy Robert Harris, who is a free agent. Speaking of that line, and when I say line, I'm going to include, our linebackers that do play on the edge. I felt like Khalil Mack was Khalil Mack. He wasn't, he's such a big name. He's making so much money that, I feel like his expectations for him are through the roof. He did have a good season. He didn't play bad.
No,
what did you say? He had 9.5 sacks?
9.5 sacks, forced 3 or 4 fumbles and stuff. He doesn't play, but everybody in Chicago, like I do as well, and Matt does, we have higher expectations because of what we gave up for Matt and who he is. But he had a good year.
Yeah, you look at his PFF ranking. He was like number one, or I think it was, in all of football. So Khalil Mack was Khalil Mack. Robert Quinn, God, I don't even know where to start. I know Robert Quinn did some good things for us, but he'll even tell you himself that 2.5 sacks is just unacceptable. And then, of course, the name that everyone forgets about that we're hopefully going to get back next year, Eddie Goldman. I've missed Eddie, and I pray that he can return. And then, Nichols was so good in his spot. This is actually what I was going to talk to you about at the beginning of the video, and I was thinking about maybe saving it for a later video, but I actually have seen some rumors about the Bears moving on from Akeem Hicks, right? Because he's owed, I think, $24 million next year. And the fact that Nichols played so well at the position, and we're going to get Eddie Goldman back, and they could save some money.
Akeem's that heart and soul of that defense. I mean, teams have said, like, Akeem, we make different game plans when Akeem's in and when he's not. The Bears have always said that, like, Akeem is the unsung captain of the defense at times. Like Mac, I believe Mac or Eddie have the captain on their jersey, but Akeem keeps that team together in the locker room. He's a great leader and stuff. If it is true, it'd be very sad to see Akeem Hicks go.
And then finally, special teams, 2 big pieces that are free agents with Patterson and Santos, and I'd love to see both those guys back. Patterson, not only his production, but just his personality off the field. I love, how can you not like him? And then Santos had one of the best seasons for us ever in terms of a Bears kicker. So
Yeah.
I'd love to lock both of them up.
Yeah, I mean, Sancho's vintage Robbie Gold.
Unbelievable.
I mean, like, it's grew up. We both grew up. I mean, watching Robbie.
Yeah.
And we went through
Some rough
ages,
years. Yeah.
Cody Park.
Yeah.
People like that. I mean, Cordell, we grew up, both of us again, watching
Devin Hester, yeah.
And I mean, Cordell, he's no Devin Hester. Like, I'm not going to say he's Devin Hester, how dominant he is, but teams are scared to kick to him.
He's the best,
no matter what.
He's the best kick returner in the league too. So there you guys go. There is our season recap. Again, there will be plenty more videos going forward. Please make sure you do drop Zach a follow on Twitch. He will be linked down below. Also, please make sure you guys do drop a like. Please make sure you guys do drop a subscription. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.